Good morning from the Mount Baker Backcountry. I am at one of my favorite places in Washington State, Artist Point. This is the place that had me fall in love with the winters here. It's a place that I return to time and time again. And I am here in front of Kulshan, Mount Baker, third tallest volcano in Washington State. The hope is to capture a shot or two of Kulshan at the moment of first light. The sun should be rising in the east and should be painting that upper mountain fairly soon. And probably get a wide shot and then kind of zoom in for a tight shot as well. All right, the moment has arrived. First light has hit the upper mountain of Kulshan. I'm just composing my first shot here. F10. Keep the ISO at 100 because we got a pretty static scene, so I can slow down this shutter. Check the histogram. I'm going to shoot at, let's say, 1/8 of a second. Focus on that foreground element, which should suffice for getting hyperfocal distance. 2-second timer. Felt pretty good about that wide shot. Next up, you guessed it, telephoto shot with my trusty 100-400. Oh, I've laid eyes on this mountain more times than I can count, and it's fantastic every time. Just dialing in these settings. This is a fairly straightforward telephoto shot, not much in terms of a foreground, so I'm just using a middle-of-the-road sweet spot aperture of f8. And while keeping the ISO at 100, it looks like I can get a proper exposure at 1/50th of a second. Feeling really good about this shot. 2-second timer. Few views in the Cascades are more glorious than Kulshan at the moment of sunrise. The pink alpenglow lit up the Park Glacier, displaying its detailed maze of seracs and crevasses. As the light continued to creep down the mountain, I zoomed in further to capture stunning features like Coleman Pinnacle, as well as intricate patterns found along the mountain's southeast flanks. Just beyond High Pass sat Mount Larrabee, painted in golden light. Moving east, Goat Mountain, and then Mount Sefrit, an amazing lineup of peaks. Mountain photography is often about finding a frame within the frame. Here, I couldn't quite decide between this initial wider shot or this medium shot that excluded the closest foreground layer, or this even tighter shot of this distant pyramidal peak. Undecided, here's all three variations. Between the wide, medium, and tight shot, I'm curious which one you find most compelling. Let me know in the comments below. Well, I've made my way a little further up, a little closer to Huntoon Point. I can kind of look down at the main section that is Artist Point. The sun is coming out, thawing out those fingers. The wind is picking up here and there, so hopefully y'all can hear me okay. Anyway, I've really enjoyed capturing the peaks from up here. I do it every time there's visibility. An additional subject, though, up here that I love to capture, whether or not there is visibility, these amazing trees covered in snow and rime ice, almost ghost-like, hovering above the snowpack. And I've captured them year after year in so many different conditions. Blue hour, golden hour, front lit, back lit, almost like a portraiture style of photo that I've captured them. And it's always fun. They have so much character. And I'm gonna take a little bit here. It's been many months since I've seen these snow ghosts, and get a bit reacquainted, capture a few shots, and move on from there. You could spend a full winter documenting these resilient trees. So much character. After capturing several different groups of trees, I turned to a more classic landscape shot, both from a low perspective as well as a high perspective. Once again, I couldn't quite decide which of these I preferred more. Turning away from the trees, I couldn't help but capture a few more telephoto shots. You all know how much I love my telephoto lens. So many details both below and along the horizon. Well, the sun is high enough in the sky that we're finally getting some lit features on Mount Shuksan as seen from this particular vantage. I've been holding off on capturing a proper shot of Mount Shuksan just because it was almost entirely in shadows. But now that there's enough light, I'm gonna capture a few shots of the mountain, maybe some tighter detail shots of the particular faces and features on the mountain. This is truly one of the most majestic mountains in the state. I've had the privilege of climbing it several times over the years. It's always a sight to look up at that summit pyramid to know what it's like to stand up on the very top, but it does look absolutely beautiful with a fresh coat of snow all around it. I'll leave you all with those particular shots, and then I am ripping skins and skiing straight down before I burn to a crisp. Somebody forgot some sunscreen. So anyway, thanks everybody for watching this video. Stay tuned in the weeks ahead for more winter photography, and we'll see you then. Cheers.